What's up guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to talk about where to get music and sound effects for your films. By the way, I hope you like the new setup. It's the first time I'm shooting here. Let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. Music is half your film, so it's important, you shouldn't neglect it. But then also, you can't have copyright infringements. So where to get music and sound effects for your film. Also, this MacBook is turned off. My notes are actually on my third monitor right here. The first resource I would recommend to you to get your music and sound effects for your videos is actually still Artlist. This video is not sponsored by Artlist. However, if you want to sign up to Artlist, you can of course use my link down below in the description. But let me tell you why I think Artlist is still so great. The licenses. I absolutely hate dealing with licenses. Sometimes I'm shooting a YouTube video like this one right here where you hear music, which is from Artlist. Sometimes I shoot commercial work, which will be in the cinema or on local television, or then they want to put it on national television or in the interwebs on Facebook, and then you get 1,000 views, which you have to get this license for, or then you reach 20,000 views where you need another license. You don't need that with Artlist. You have one license, which, as they say, covers everything. Whether I put it in the cinema, I do it for YouTube, for my own personal stuff, for whatever clients I have. I can just have this yearly or monthly subscription and then use whatever music or sound effects that I want and don't have to deal with any licenses. So that's why Artlist is still my #1 spot to get music and sound effects for my videos. Let's move on to the second thing. Another great place to get music and sound effects for your videos if you're not willing to commit to one certain service, like you have to do with the subscription model if you're using Artlist, is to get your music and sound effects from Pond5, where I bought a lot of, especially sound effects, but also music tracks way back in the day. Not that much lately, but way back in the day, 2015, 16, I bought all the stuff on Pond5 because they also have great stuff. It's a little bit more expensive, of course, if you have to pay for every single sound effect and not just one time, and then you can download basically unlimited. They have like a 30 cap a day, but basically unlimited sound effects and music. Of course, going back to the subscription model, there are also other services like Epidemic Sound or MusicBed, which also have a subscription model. And I heard just great stuff about both of these services, but I haven't used them myself, so I can't tell you if they're really that good. But a lot of other creators that I know personally or from the internet are using these services, so they should be fun as well. But I'm using Artlist, so that's my way to go. Again, use my link down below. Now you can also find a lot of great stuff on YouTube, but you have to be careful again with the copyright because you can't use anything that you find on the internet. You have to be careful that it's copyright free or Creative Commons, or that you just buy the license and then use it. Or if you're using free sites like freesound.org for sound effects, obviously it's free. But if you're ripping stuff off of YouTube, be careful that it's not copyrighted. Now the next option I want to talk about, I also haven't used myself. I tried using it, but back then the plugin didn't work and then I never really did it again. But there's a program called Filmstro which lets you keyframe your music based on your film. Like they have certain sliders for the music, like the strength or something like that, and you can adjust them while playing your film, so you can basically mix a live music for your film, which is really cool. And then you can also go back in later and adjust the keyframes so that it really fits your scene. So you're not taking any pre-recorded music and try to fit your film to the music, but actually you can fit the music to your film, which is a great thing, I guess. Now then the last option I want to talk about, it sounds pretty straightforward if you think about it, or sometimes a little far-fetched, but maybe you haven't thought about it. If you don't have a producer friend like me who could just, create the perfect musical thing that you would want from scratch, you could just try doing it yourself. Yeah, actually, you don't even have to buy Logic or FL Studio or Cubase or any of those programs for that matter. You could just use GarageBand on your computer if you have a Mac. But if you're editing in Final Cut, which you should do, then you already have a Mac, so just use GarageBand. If not, does Windows have a music maker? They had a movie maker, but do they have a music maker? I don't know. But you could just use GarageBand. If you don't have a Mac, maybe you have an iPad, maybe you have an iPhone, you can have GarageBand on your iPhone, and then try doing something yourself. You don't even have to make the perfect orchestral music. You could just play single notes, which you can use as sound effects or hits for your film. Yeah, just think about it. You could just create the music by yourself and then you don't have any copyright infringements. And those are already my 5 tips for getting music and sound effects for your films. I really hope this helped you and you learned something new that you didn't think about, like maybe making your music yourself. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit that like button. Also consider subscribing right here by clicking that button. You can find more videos right here, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Goodbye.